Hello, today I'm going to be covering the Individualized Family Service Plan, Individualized Education Plan, and the 504 Plan and their similarities across the board. Essentially, IFSP, Individualized Family Service Plan, focuses on the needs of the family in reference to the child. This plan typically provides services for the family to use to aid any concerns or questions that they may have about their child, and also aid in their child's development when it comes to them being behind. And a child is determined as being eligible for an IFSP if they're diagnosed with a disability that has a high possibility of resulting in a future delay, if the child has a 2.0 standard deviation below the average of development in one area, or a 1.3 standard deviation from the average in two or more areas. So this essentially means that student has to be able to display that there's a concern for their future learning and development, or they have to be below average when it comes to milestones and all of that. And then additionally, parents are responsible for implementing the child's IFSP. Unfortunately, this is not a plan that's conducted in an educational setting, but rather at home, as these are typically not given to children over the age of 3 years old. Now, focusing on the IEP. The IEP is a document that will aid in the child's education and allow them to receive proper education in a learning environment that best suits their needs due to their disability. This essentially primarily focuses on the educational needs of the child with the IEP, whereas the IFSP focus more on the family's needs. And as for the eligibility requirements, it must be shown that the child's disability has resulted in an adverse effect on their education. While a lot of disabilities occur, sometimes they don't have an adverse effect and the student is capable of being in a typical education environment. Comparing both of those fall under the Individuals with Disabilities Act, and each have their own set of requirements listed for eligibility and plans and all that. Expected performance and current development of the child are also both looked at. Now, speaking on the 504 plan, different from the IEP, it has given to children with physical or mental disabilities who are recovering from chemical dependencies or have a high disability that impacts at least one key life function, such as sight, hearing, walking, talking, etc. And it's protected by the ADA and the Rehabilitation Act. The 504 plan comes from Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. And students with a wide range of disabilities are still capable of learning within the normal classroom setting, are typically the ones who receive the 504 plan. Comparing the 504 plan to the Individualized Education Plan and the Family Service Plan has similarities to both of those, because all of them provide assistance to the child and their families for their development and education, and they're all developed by a team of professionals to aid the family and the student. Comparing the 504 plan and the Individualized Family Service Plan, they both aid in the child's development. And comparing the 504 plan and the IEP, they accommodate or modify the educational setting in order to benefit the student. It allows the students to remain in a classroom they were previously in. Parental notices and review grading plan. Parental notices and parental review regarding plans also occur. So with the 504 plan and Individualized Education Plan, family still has some involvement, although it is not directly connected to the family.